very proud on behalf of the Israel Leadership Institute and our host here in Ohio and Wright State University to enjoy this beautiful ceremony of signing an agreement between the two parties. The Vice Prime Minister of Israel is having today discussions with both the governor and has addressed the joint session of the House of Representatives and the Senate. For representatives of the press, I would like to invite Minister Silvan, Shalom, Vice Prime Minister of Israel. Please.
If there are any questions, I will take some. I think that it's very important, of course, for me to be here and to take part of signing that agreement between the University of Ireland and the Institute. I think it's very, very important for both sides to have such kind of an agreement. I'm accompanying the Institute for a few years, since 2005, I believe, and I found out that they are doing very well with many, many young people in Israel that would like to become leaders, that would like to take part of the political arena in Israel and to take part in some other organizations as the youth leadership and the future of our country. To have such kind of an agreement, I think, will upgrade the relations between Israel and the state of Ohio, that we are working very hard to increase all the time. The mutual trade is growing 1 year after another, even in these not so easy days of the world economy. And while most of the world is facing an economic crisis, still Israel and Ohio is doing very well, because the state of Ohio is very developed state, and the Israeli economy is doing much better than most of the world, while we face growth of 4% every year in the last few years, while most of the world face negative growth of close to zero. So I think that from now on we can even have the young generation to realize that they should focus on the relations between Israel and the United States in general, and specifically between the relations between Israel and the state of Ohio. So if you have some questions, I would love to take some. Please.
Ann Sander with the Associated Press. Just wanted to follow up on some of the comments that you gave upstairs. You mentioned that a nuclear Iran is not just bad for Israel, but for the world. And today, Iran claimed that that they had made 2 major advances in its program. Could you speak to that? And is that specifically what you were talking about up there?
I think the statement that was made by Iran today by its president Mahmoud Ahmadinejad is showing us that Iran has no intention to abandon their dream to develop a nuclear bomb. The world should realize that if they won't stop them immediately, finally it might be too late. The Iranians will do everything they can because they believe it will give them an insurance policy to their regime. The new development is showing us that they continue with their program, with their military program, even that they sold lies to the international community for many, many years, and to those inspectors and supervisors from the IAEA. It's the International Atomic Energy Agency that is located in Vienna. The time has come to impose more sanctions on Iran, tougher sanctions on Iran, that might bring them to change their attitude. Until then, the Iranians will continue, and they are very, very close to the point of no return. We believe that if they will upgrade the enrichment of the uranium to 20%, it will give them the option in 1 year for the max to have the ability to develop a nuclear bomb. And that's something that Israel, and I would like to believe most of the world, cannot live with. That's your camera?
That's not my camera, no.
Huh?
No, that's not
that's
my
your camera.
No, I don't have a camera.
You don't have a camera. because usually AP, when they are coming to me, they are coming with a camera.
Yeah, I know. We didn't know you were coming. And in terms of, you said that they're very close to the point of no return. Are you talking about their development right now? And can you explain what you mean by the point of no return, and how close are we here?
As we know, in order to have the ability to develop a nuclear bomb, it needs an enrichment of 90%. Now they are having enrichment of 3.5%. But it's very weird that it's much more difficult to go from 3.5 to 20% of enrichment than from 20% to 90%. So while they will take the next step to enrich the uranium in 20%, it will enable them in a short time, in a year, to come to enrichment of 90%. And then, of course, they will have the ability to develop a nuclear bomb that will change dramatically the balance of power, not only in the Middle East, but of the entire world.
Okay, and this,
now you got me?
I think I do. And
you think it? So I'm going to try to do this once again. You know, there is a now, in order to have a nuclear bomb, you need enrichment of the uranium of 90%. Now they are doing it 3.5. There are some inspectors from the International Energy Agency, International Atomic Energy Agency, IAEA, that are looking after what they are doing. When they will take the next move to enrich it to 20%, it will take them maximum a year to come to the enrichment of 90%, and then to have a nuclear bomb. So for us to take the next step to enrichment of 20%, it means that they are very close to the point of no return, that in 1 year we might face. Now
yes.
Okay.
And you had talked to the Secretary General about that yesterday?
Of course, I talked yesterday to Secretary General of the United Nations, Mr. Ban Ki-moon. He is himself very much concerned about the option that the Iranians will hold in nuclear power. He told me that he really does not understand the Iranians, and he believes that the Security Council should take some measures in order to stop them. He maybe held already or will hold today a meeting with the Foreign Minister of Russia, Mr. Lavrov, in Vienna, in order to convince the Russians to join to those sanctions that the international community would like to impose on Iran. But while they are not doing so, there are other sanctions that were taken by the European Union as well as the United States. I think that, I didn't say it in the House, but maybe I will say it now, it's in the hands of the states as well, because there are many states that took some decisions to prevent their pension funds from investing in companies that are trading with Iran. And some of them even took some further steps to prevent their pension funds from investing in companies that are trading with companies that are trading with Iran. So that might bring the Iranians finally to realize that they cannot move forward with their military program, because if they will do so, they might maybe lose their power in their own country. Okay, thank you.